Hi there, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Luca. We are here to talk about long distance relationship with emphasis on long distance parenting. Maybe at a later stage we shall be talking about long distance marriage, but for now, priority we give it to the children. Today, I want to talk about something very important, and those are some of the mistakes I kept making, and I wish somebody told me before, or I wish I knew before I started parenting. One of the biggest mistakes I used to make is to just hire people without taking them through medical checkups, and I would entrust them with my children in my absence. Well, by God's grace, nothing happened to them. But during Corona, when it's not certain who is safe and who is not, then it came to mind, all right, why don't we do a medical checkup? As we do the Corona test, why don't we go extra mile? So I always do 3 types of medical checkup, but this is of late when my kids are even older now. I would do Corona tests, and I would do tuberculosis test, I would do HIV test, and I would do hepatitis B. So when I started doing those tests, the first 5 maids that I wanted to hire in the year between the year 2020 2022, majority, at least 4 of them had HIV positive. Now, I am not segregating against them, but if you're honest, it is very uncomfortable to live children with somebody you know of that status, especially if they are kids, because this person is going to shower them, this person is just going to be with them alone in your absence. You do not know what they will do. Definitely you will have to be worried. If they are at the age of 14, 15 and above, they take care of their business and there is no close relationship, that's a completely different thing. I mean, my children, the youngest, are currently 7, 9, and 11. So the 7 and the 9 sometimes do need help with washing, I don't know, clean up here and there. They will always come close with the person. So that was the mistake I kept making. And then it dawned on me, much as it was at a late stage, I came to a realization that I was not doing correct thing, and no one told me about it. Thanks to Corona, I started doing that. Imagine, had it not been that there was Corona, I think I would just hire them the same way I used to hire without doing medical checks. So if you're out there, and if you are like me, your children are completely in the hands of strangers, please do the test. Do the test before you get them. I know some people will be like, oh no, I'm hiring from agency and they all normally do the preliminary test and all that kind of thing. But girl, to be on the safer side and to be sure and to, be at peace with your conscience, it is better you do the test by yourself. That was one mistake I used to make. The second mistake I used to make is to capacity build, like I would pay for course and things like that. Then I realized after people learning how to drive, after people learning how to cook, they leave. Like they don't even bother to service my house for 1 year. The moment they get the skills, they upgraded themselves, they leave. and I spend a lot of money on them and then I lose. So as these people come, as you hire the maids, just know these people have not come to live with you forever. Of course, it is important for you to help them where necessary, where you think you have to upgrade their skills in order to serve you better, but let it stop there. These people will not stay with you and they will not think twice to leave. So help yourself and be wise. The third thing that I used to make is yell. I would shout. I used to shout, like on phone. I would shout on my phone. I would shout on the maids and things like that. You know what? I realized that I was not being fair to myself. I wasn't being fair to the maids. I wasn't even being fair to anybody. Like the moment I reach home like this, practically everybody wants to hide. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Because once people get used to your shouting, they no longer feel anything. They just take you like, okay, that's how she is. They know, but when you're seriously angry, they will not understand. They will not see the difference between you being angry for something that's worth being angry and you venting for whatever stress that you're having. So if possible, limit the level of shouting. Limit it. This person grew up in a complete different environment, complete home, different from yours. So there is no way you're going to change them. But it is important that you sit down with them and speak to them one-on-one. I've not yet stopped shouting, although I've come to a realization that it is not helping both myself and my mates. I'm working on it. And at this point, everything is better. So if you're like me and you're making that mistakes, my dear, it is not healthy. Because the anger they will take from you, they will transfer it to the children. So, help yourself. Be smart. Keep them close. But do not, be careful. Do not bring them closer that they will start familiarizing themselves with you. That's the fourth one. I would talk to the maids about almost everything, like they are my sisters and Be professional to a certain level, but keep them close. Let the relationship be not friends. These are not your friends. These are your workers. So try to draw that boundary. Do not bring your issues you're having with your husband to them. Those are some of the mistakes I made. Don't do it. Because some of the maids will use your weaknesses, those loopholes, and guess what? And take the advantage of the whole thing and your shortcoming. Perfect it and serve your husband. And then your husband starts looking at you like the problem and the maids are there. Yes, that one. So, if you are doing these things, please, I'm advising you as a senior woman, 14 years. Okay, I'm not senior. Maybe almost senior, because probably there are senior women than me, of course. But as someone who has gone through this path for 14 years, at least I have a say. At least I can say something. So if you are doing these things, you stop them. Bring them close to you, but not that close to the extent that they become familiar. Do not talk about your family issues to them. If you are angry, go and vent somewhere. Go and call your friend. Sit somewhere in the corner of your house on phone. Talk to your friends. This one is a maid. It's not your friend. They are on duty. So, the same way they say, do not take your work, your home affairs to work. Do the same. Do not bring your home. Don't wash your linen in front of this person. If you have problems, hide it. Take your husband somewhere, talk about it inside there. I'm not an expert. I want to put a disclaimer. I'm not a psychologist, nothing. All these things that I'm saying is based on my first-hand experience. I hope you will pick something from you that will help you, and also advise those you see that are doing the same mistakes that I did before. Another mistake, which is the biggest, maybe probably I will just have to have another, series on it, or a podcast. Maybe I will talk about it solidly. Child abuse. This is a very serious thing, especially as mothers. Please, the fathers might not see, but as mothers, the people we have left our children with, those people are abusing our children. Whether it's physically, psychologically, sexually, they are being abused. Not all, but some. Be vigilant. Just, know your children. When they bring things to you, when they complain to you about, do not brush it off. Keep close to your children. Talk to your children about good touches, bad touches. Talk to your children freely. Talk to them about molestation. Talk to them about how you are not supposed to be touched there. In your no one should touch it. Yeah? And tell them clearly no one should touch it. Tell them it's a private thing, it's your business. If somebody is washing it, they are washing it, and they should not tell them what is the right way to wash it and what is not the right way to wash. Because the uncles that are in that house, the cousins that are in that house, the nieces, they are taking advantage of our children. Please, be vigilant, be smart, keep in touch with your children, know your children. If you see character is changing, if your child is this hyper, all jokes, happy and all that, and all of a sudden they are quiet, they are reserved, they are silent, they do not tell you things, follow up. Let me just give you this as a reference. Just last week, in my neighbor, the girl child is 4 years old. They had a visitor cousin that was brought to come and live with them because all the parents are this side. So because there is a mother who is currently there, the uncle and the parents are working in Juba, decided to take this child to live with a sister. So why would this child not abuse a 4-year-old? When this child was being showered by a maid, she told the maid, do not touch my private place because it is paining. And the maid asked her, what happened? She did not. And the maid just brushed it off and thought maybe, okay, they were just playing in that kind of a thing. The following day, there was no one in the house. The maid decided to go to the market, but did not reach and came back quickly. She came back finding the 12-year-old sleeping, having sex with the 4-year-old girl in their house. So watch out for this, brother, sister, cousins, uncles in the house, because these are the same people who will abuse your child. And it doesn't matter whether it's a boy or a girl. These days, even the girls are the ones who manipulate the boys to sexually abuse them. Those are some of the mistakes I used to make. I was not seeing. Not that my children have been abused in any way, but I have learned from the mistakes that other parents were making and the mistakes that I have made, and I said I should share this with those ones who are either thinking of joining the bandwagon of remote parenting. As you do that, please do the calculation properly. If you feel your child is young, 2 years, 3 years, and you are not so sure you are able to take care of them very well from distance, please keep them with you until they are at the age where they are able to take care of themselves. Then you can move them for further education. One important thing that I also want to talk about, please rent a place, rent your own place, put your children there and bring people to watch over them. This thing of taking children to go and stay with brothers and sisters, your children are not happy under that condition. Your children are suffering because your children are not free. It's not their house. You see, please learn from the mistakes that I have made and improve on it. Until then, for now, thank you so much. So if you find this content of value, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and let me know your comments down below. Tell me what your experiences are. Challenges with maids, challenges with discipline. Discipline is something that we're going to talk about next week. As of for now, until then,